Hey guys, it's Annie. I am getting over a cold right now. I was in bed for the last few days, but I'm feeling much better today. But I just wanted to address the voice, and also I've been blowing my nose so much that I just have like dry skin flaking around my nose. So if you can see that, that is what that is. Overall, I'm feeling all right, and I'm excited to make this video because I have some big news. I'm gonna share with you today how I'm manifesting my tiny home. It's probably been one of the biggest things that I've been wanting to call in this year, and it's happening. And yes, I'm explaining how I am manifesting it, so it's not physically here yet, but it's happening. Like, I'm actually in communication with a tiny home builder to custom build a tiny home for myself. So it's going down, it's happening. Even if you're someone who's not trying to manifest a tiny home, the things I'm going to share are things that you can utilize for other things, for anything really. So take it in. It's not just about tiny home manifestation. It's about really calling in the things that you want in general and taking those steps to do so. First of all though, I want to share that for the last couple of weeks, I was hosting the 10-day manifestation activation challenge, and it was the most amazing experience. If you are one of the amazing humans that were in on the challenge, will you please share in the comments some love about the challenge, your biggest takeaways, just to like spread the love, because a lot of people watching weren't a part of the challenge. And that's kind of sad that you weren't, because it was genuinely a life-changing experience. It's technically over, but you can still get the replay bundle if you want in. So yeah, all of my challenge people, please spread the love. Tell them what was up in that experience. It completely changed the lives of so many people, myself included. So I'll link that down below. Also, if you love my manifestation videos, please hit the thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed, do so. I would appreciate it. Anyway, so manifesting my tiny home. The first step to me manifesting this tiny home is just the desire and the intention to do so. For me, I've actually always had an interest in tiny homes. 10 years ago, when I was living in LA and I first heard about tiny homes, I used to watch videos on them and think that life looked really intriguing and exciting. I've always had a thing for unique ways of living. So even me manifesting my luxury apartment in LA. So if you have been around here, you probably know that story of how I was broke and depressed and in a toxic relationship and all of the things, and turned my life around and relatively quickly manifested a luxury apartment. And that studio apartment was a unique way of living. And for me also, the manifesting of a new living environment represents a huge change in my life, because when I moved into that luxury apartment, everything in my life changed. So that's what it represents. And then even after I moved out of that apartment and started traveling and doing a little bit of the nomad lifestyle, that was another massive shift in my lifestyle change and my living situation, and that affected my entire life. And now this next chapter of manifesting the tiny home in the woods, like, can you picture it? Just a cute, luxurious tiny home nestled in Washington State with nature and big evergreen trees all around and the fresh air. I'm so excited for it, and I know that so many other pieces of my life will shift from this move. But going back, like, the first step to this manifestation was just feeling the desire in my heart and deciding that that's what I'm gonna go for. So step one was to decide. The second thing, which goes with deciding, is decide on the specifics of what you want. So I decided on the things that I needed in this living space. I want it to be a tiny home. I want it to have 2 lofts. One loft would be my bedroom, and the second loft would be my like meditation spiritual space / seated office. I wanted enough spaciousness downstairs to fit like a good sized couch that could pull out into a bed, have a nice little living room set up. I really want a bathtub, a washer and dryer, and hopefully a dishwasher. So I want all of the things in this tiny home. So I made a list of all of the pieces and all of the things that I wanted. The next thing I did was I made a phone screen mini vision board background. So if you can see, that is a tiny home, and it's the kind of style that I want. I want it light and airy. You can see that there is a loft. The kitchen is nice and bright. You can see there's stairs to go up to another loft. So this has been my vision board background on my phone for a while. And if you've watched my videos in the last year, I've shared a lot about this hack, about putting one singular image on your phone screen and using it as like a mini vision board. Every time I've done a phone screen vision board background, every time it's come true. So the fact that the tiny home is happening would give my phone screen vision board backgrounds 100% success rate. The next tip that I have and thing that I've done is I've actually put myself in the energy of tiny homes. So when I started on my nomadic travels, I would stay in tiny homes, and from those stays, that really also emphasized that I like this, I could do this, and I want this. So I stayed in several of them multiple times. So one of my favorite tiny home stays is actually just over in Oregon, not far from where I live in Washington. And I've stayed there 3 times already. I actually just got back from a 2-week stay there. So really putting myself in the energy of it and like living there for 2 weeks and working from there. And it was also just surrounded by nature, similar to how I want my experience to be. Like, I want my cute little tiny home in nature. It's a different style than the one that I want. It's more of like the woodsy, cabiny, artsy one, where I want more of a bright, modern one. But I absolutely love that tiny home. I've actually befriended the owners of it, and it's been really cool. So also, if you see this tiny home and you are in the Pacific Northwest, or you ever plan to travel up here, I will also link their Airbnb listing because they're awesome, and I just want to, you know, support them too, because I've absolutely loved their place. So if you are interested in staying in their tiny home, I will link it down below. And I also hosted the entire 10-day manifestation activation challenge from there. So if you get the replay bundle, or if you were part of the experience, that is where the magic happened. And I highly recommend it. It's just so cute. And the next thing I did was just looked online for tiny homes, like tiny homes for sale. So I would go on Facebook Marketplace and search for tiny homes in my area, or I would go on Google and look up just different tiny home listings or builders. And this is not something that I was obsessing over all of the time. None of this was. Like, it was still something that I would talk about, and people knew that that's what I wanted for my life, and I was excited about it, but I wasn't like constantly like needing it and obsessing over it and like constantly looking it up online. But every so often, when I got the spark of inspiration to look online, I would do so. And I would also speak as if I was serious about getting it, because I was. So my parents knew that my plan is I'm gonna get a tiny home and put it on my parents' property. Anytime I'd catch up with people and they'd say, oh, hey, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, I've been traveling, but the plan is to get a tiny home and put it on my parents' property. And I was anchoring in that idea. It wasn't just like this flighty thing that I'm like, oh, maybe. It's just like I'm planning it. This is what I'm doing. But anyway, one day I go on Facebook Marketplace and find one that I like that is actually under $100,000. It was like $75,000, and I'm like, I really want to manifest one for like $65,000 or less. Like, that would be an impressive manifestation. And to be able to get one that I liked for that price. So I find it, I'm like, maybe they would go for less. Maybe I could talk them into doing 65K. We'll see. The one thing that I wasn't loving was downstairs. Below the second loft was a wall, so it was like a separate room. And I wanted the downstairs to be fully open, like an open floor plan down below. So I just asked them, hey, do you know if it's structurally sound to bust out that wall? And they're like, I don't know, but you could contact the builders and see what they have to say. And they told me the name of the company, which I'm not gonna give in this video, but they said the name of the builder, and I was like, okay, cool. Then I just let that be. And then later I was looking online on YouTube at tiny home tours. So as I was watching one of these tiny home tours, I am like, I love this tiny home in this video. And I was even thinking, it kind of looks similar to the one on Facebook Marketplace, the one that I was talking about busting out the wall downstairs. And in this YouTube video, they mentioned the name of the builder. And I'm like, oh, interesting. So I go and look at my Facebook messages, and the builder of the one in the YouTube video is the same as the one from Facebook that I liked. And I was like, what? Wow, cool. Like, the odds. Oh wait, there's something that I'm leaving out of the story that I want to touch on before getting to this part. Before I even found out about the builders of this tiny home, one of my super intuitive friends, someone I just recently met and didn't even know that I have this tiny home plan, messaged me the morning after finding that tiny home on Facebook. And he's like, hey, do you plan on moving? And I'm like, well, I plan on staying in Washington, but I'm gonna get a tiny home and put it on my parents' property. And he's like, no way. I literally had a vision of me and my wife coming to visit you, bringing housewarming gifts, and you were just moving into a tiny home, and it was in the woods, and you were surrounded by trees, and it was springtime. Like, definitely wasn't winter. It was very bright and vibrant, and there were flowers blooming, and it was just really vivid, and I wanted to reach out and tell you that. He did not know that that morning I found that tiny home. And that was the one point in time where I was like, oh, should I act on it? Should I go for this tiny home? Should I like snatch it up? And by him even giving those details of it's gonna happen in spring made me like loosen up. And from me like calming down, going, okay, maybe it's not that one, or maybe just not that one in this timing, I kind of let go. And then literally a couple days later is when I found that YouTube video, and then found out it was by the same builder of the one from Facebook. And so then I go online and I search that builder, and I find out brand new tiny homes from them. The base price is like $61,000 to $63,000. But then you can customize it and get it exactly how you want. And I found out you can customize it where they'll keep that wall out, so I wouldn't even have to like take a wall down. Like, that is part of the customization. I can have the specific floors that I want, the specific countertops that I want. I can add a bathtub, I can add a washer dryer, I can add a dishwasher, and that would still all land probably around $75,000 or less, which is really good, especially with a tiny home. You can extend the payments out for like 10 years or so. And with that being said, I've contacted the builders, and they sent me the information about all the customizations, and I have the money for a down payment. I haven't fully put in the order, but like, it is happening. And the thing is, it takes about 6 months to build out, so I would have it by June, which is past the winter time. It's when things are gonna be vibrant, just like my friend said and saw, and it all worked out. So that is my story of how I'm manifesting my tiny home. So yeah, I'm excited. Of course, I have 6 months to wait and be here in my parents' house, but I'm gonna make the most of it. I'm probably gonna do a little bit of traveling and some things, but it's happening, guys. It's happening! Who's excited for cozy tiny home YouTube videos? I am. I'm so excited. So this is going to be a fun next chapter. My next level of my life. And with that, I'm gonna segue into, I have a new manifestation coaching program dropping in January. It's called the Next Level Life Manifestation Accelerator. The people who are in the 10-day manifestation activation challenge have already started entering. We already have an amazing group of humans joining me in the Next Level Life Manifestation Accelerator. And I'm going to link it down below. You can check out all of the details. There'll also be some testimonials from clients. You can also get into the Facebook group that the challenge was hosted in and see all of the manifestations and transformations and true magic that unfolded in just a period of 10 days together. And I'm about to step into a 3-month journey to do even more. I have a lot of my past clients who have actually signed up for this program just because they know that the work that we do together works and their lives change. Like, you will actually come into this program, and by the time it's ending, you will leave honestly as a new version, in a new way of life, with so much that has shifted and changed. And yeah, if you are interested in joining me and honestly changing your life in 2023, I invite you to join. There are different tiers. There is a VIP level, like a super VIP level, and the super VIP people get to come and collaborate with me in person. Like, there is a one-on-one exclusive VIP one-on-one 3-day retreat where we're gonna collaborate and make videos and content, and it's gonna be really special. Actually, 3 of those spots have already been taken. There's only 2 left as of right now. So if you want one of those super VIP spots and to come collaborate in person with me, then again, check for all of the links down below. The Next Level Life, there will be a cutoff date, so act fast, get in on it now, and I hope to see you in there. But thanks for joining and tuning into this video, and I will see you soon with another one. All right, bye guys.